I'm going to be continuing to read The Magic Faraway Tree. We are going to be reading today The Land of the Magic Medicines. This is chapter 20, and if you want to catch up on the story so far, please do watch my previous videos. As you well know already, if you're a regular viewer, I am a dyslexic reader, so I will be making mistakes along the way. And if I do, please mind my reading. I have a tendency to miss out words or to replace words for other words, and I tend not to realize I'm doing it. So if I do make mistakes like that, please do mind my reading, and if you want to correct me, you can do so in the comments below. But let's get to the right page now. Okay, so we are reading today. There we go. So today we're reading The Land of Magic Medicines. Okay, so for a few days, the children had no time even to think of going to their friend in the faraway tree. Their mother was in bed, ill, and the doctor came each day. Just let her lie in bed and keep her warm, he said to the children and their father. Give her what she likes to eat, and don't let her worry about anything. The children and the father were upset, but the father had to go out to work as usual. They loved mother, and it was strange to see her lying in bed. There all that washing had to do for Mrs. Jones, she said. No, you children are not to try to do it. It's too much for you. Moonface and Zuki came to visit the children one morning, and were very upset to hear that the children's mother was ill. She worried about the washing, said Beth. She won't let us do it. I don't know what to do about it. Oh, we can manage that for you, said Zuki at once. Old Dame Wash-a-Lot would do it for nothing. It's the joy of her life to wash. I believe if she got something dirty to wash, she washes them clean. She even washes the leaves on the faraway tree if there's nothing else to wash. Is that the basket over there? Moonface and I will take it up the tree now and bring it back when it's finished. Oh, thank you, dear Silky, said Beth gratefully. Mother will be pleased when I tell her. She'll stop worrying about it. Silky and Moonface went off with the basket. They took it to Dame Wash-a-Lot, and her face shone with joy when she saw such a lot of washing to be done. This is good for you, she said, taking out the dirty things and throwing them into her enormous white tub of soapy water. Now this is what I really enjoy. I'll have them all washed and ironed by tonight. Silky was pleased. Now as she knew how beautifully Dame Wash-a-Lot washed and ironed. She went up to Moonface's house to have dinner with him. I do wish we could help the children's mother I do wish we could help the children's mother better, she said. She's such a lovely lady, isn't she? And the children love her so much. Moonface, can't you possibly think of anything? Well, I don't think toffee chocs would be any good to you, said Moonface. I've got some of those. Of course not, silly, said Silky. It's medicine we want. Pills. Or something. But as nobody is ill in the faraway tree, there's nowhere to buy them from. That night, I went to see if Dame Washalot had finished the washing. She had. It was washed and beautifully ironed and folded up in a basket ready to be taken. I've had a lovely time, said the old dame, gleaming at Silky. My, the water I've poured down the tree today. Yes, I've heard the angry pixie shouting not like anything because she got soaked at least 4 times, said Moonface with a grin. He's got plums growing on the tree just outside his house, and he was picking them. And each time he went to pick them, he got soaked with your water. You be careful he doesn't come up and shout at you. If he does, I'll put him into my next wash tub of dirty water and empty him down the tree with it, said Dame Washalot. Oh, I wish I could see you do that, said Silky, tying a rope to the basket of washing, so that she could let it down the tree to the bottom. Dame Washalot, thank you very much. The person who usually does this washing is ill in bed and can't seem to get better. It's such a pity. I wish I could make her well. Why, Silky, the land of medicine is coming tomorrow, said old Dame Washalot. You could get any medicine you like there, and your friend would get better soon. Why don't you visit the land and get some? That's a really good idea, said Silky happily, setting down the basket bit by bit. Moonface had gone to the bottom of the tree to catch it. I'll tell Moonface, and maybe he and I could go and get some medicine. She slipped down the tree and told Moonface what the old dame had said. Moonface put the basket of washing on his shoulder and gleamed at Silky. That's good news for the children, he said. Come on, we'll hurry and tell them. The children were delighted to have the washing back so quickly. They all washed and ironed. Rick set off with it to Mrs. Jones. Beth ran to tell her mother that she indeed needed worry any more about it. Silky told Joe and Fanny about the land of medicine coming the next day at the top of the tree. They listened in surprise. Well, I vote we go, said Joe at once. I'd made up my mind. None of us would go while Mother is ill. But if there's a chance of getting something to make her better, we'll certainly go. One of us must stay behind with Mother, and the rest of us will go. So it was arranged that Joe, Rick, and Beth should meet at Moonface's house early the next morning. Then they would go up the strange land and see what they could find there for their mother. Fanny was quite willing to stay with her mother, though. She felt a little bit left out. She said goodbye to Joe, Rick, and Beth. Soon after breakfast the next day, and promised to wash up the breakfast things carefully and to sit with her mother until the rest of them came back. They set off and arrived outside Moonface's house at the top of the tree very soon after. Moonface and Silky were waiting for them. "Is old Saucepan coming?" asked John. "Hi, Saucepan, do you want to come?" shouted Moonface, leaning over the tree. Saucepan was with what's-his-name, amazingly. He heard that Moonface said and shouted back, "Yes, I'll come. But where to?" "Up the ladder," yelled Moonface. "Hurry." So Saucepan came with them, and in a little while they all stood in the land of medicine. It was just as peculiar as every land that came to the top of the faraway tree, but it didn't seem to be a land at all. When the children had climbed up the ladder to the top, they found themselves in what looked like a great big factory, a place where all kinds of pills, medicine, bandages, and so on were made. Goblins and gnomes, pixies and fairies were busy as could be, stirring great pots over curious green fires, pouring medicine into shiny bottles and counting out pills to put into colored boxes. In one corner, a goblin was stirring purple mixture in a yellow bowl. Beth looked at it. It's a kind of ointment," she said to the others. "I wonder what it's for." To make bed bugs grow, to make bad legs grow strong," said the goblin, stirring hard. "Do you want some?" "Well, I don't know anyone with bad legs," said Beth. "Thank you all the same. But if I did, I'd love to have some, because it could be miraculous to make someone's bad leg better." Pixie nearby was pouring some sparkling green medicine into a bottle shaped like bubbles. The children and the others watched. It made a funny singing noise as it went in. "What's that for?" asked John. "Whomever makes this will always have shiny eyes. Whoever takes this will have shiny eyes," said the pixie. "Shining, smiling eyes are the loveliest eyes in the world. Is it this medicine you have come for?" "Well, no, not exactly," said John. I'd like to have some, though." Your eyes are smiley eyes," said the pixie, looking at him. "This is for bad people whose eyes have become dull. Come to me when you are an old man and your eyes cannot see very well. I will give you plenty then." "Oh," said John. Well, I won't be here then. I've only just come for a short visit." Rick cried to the others, "Look!" Rick called to the others, "Look!" he cried. "Here's some really miraculous pills. Watch them being made." Everyone watched, as it was astonishing to see. First of all, the pills were enormous, like large footballs. The goblin grew them on a pair of bellows, out of which came green smoke. And they at once went down to the size of a cricket ball, and then smashed them with what looked like moonlight from a watering can. They went as small as marbles. Then he blew on them gently, and they went as small as green peas, and each one jumped into a pill box with a ping, 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 till the box was full. "What are they for?" asked Rick. "To make short people tall," said the goblin. "Some people hate being short. Well, these pills are made for big things. The shadow of a mountain, the height of a tree, the clash of a thunderstorm, things like that. And they have the power to make anything or anyone grow." "Could I have some?" asked Rick eagerly. "Take a box," said the goblin. Rick took it. He read what was written on the lid. Growing pills. One to be taken 3 times a day. Now Rick was very tall for his age, and he had always wanted to be big. He looked longingly at the pills. If he took 3 at once, maybe he would grow taller. That would be great. He put 3 of the pills into his mouth. He sucked them. They tasted so horrible that he swallowed them all in a hurry. And goodness, what a surprise when the others turned to speak to him. Rick was taller than his father. He was as tall as the ceiling in the cottage. He towered above them, looking down on them in alarm, for he didn't expect to grow quite so much so quickly. "Rick, you've been taking those growing pills," cried Joe. "Just the sort of stupid thing you would do. You're enormous. How in the world do you think you'll ever get down the hole in the clouds?" "Oh, do something to help me," begged Rick, who really was frightened to be so enormous. Everyone else looked so small. "Joe and Moonface, what do I do? I'm still growing. I'll burst out of the room in a minute." The goblins and pixies around suddenly noticed how fast Rick was growing. They began to shout and squeal. "He'll break through the roof. He'll bring it down on top of us. Quick, stop him growing." Oh, silly little Rick, always getting into trouble. So that one way of getting taller. Rick is always getting them into trouble. So we shall see what happened to him next time. And next story is Some Peculiar Adventure. So we shall see how Rick gets through that one. That poor little boy, always getting into trouble and getting the friend into trouble as well. So tune in next